Years from now, your children will ask you, what did you do in the greatest war? And you can tell them, I fought to protect this world. We created you. But now, we will bring an end to their kind.
Because I knew this title, I was expecting something else. I was expecting armies of apes facing armies of humans on a large scale.
Sure.
And you went another direction. Why?
Well, you know, because the thing about it is that when I was looking at war films that really moved me, when Mark Baumbach, who wrote the script with me, we watched a lot of movies just to sort of be inspired. And the great war movies we watched, the spectacle was an aspect of it. And we have spectacle, we have battles, but it's not a relentless series of battles as much as it is the context of the story is war. But the thing that matters the most in the movies I watched were the battles within the characters and the intimate relationship between the characters who were adversaries. And, you know, these three films have all really been about Caesar. And this story is a story about a war between the species, but more than that, it's a story about a war within a character, within Caesar, and he's fighting to regain empathy, because the one bedrock of his character has been in these films that he has the ability to empathize with both species, because he's an ape, but he wasn't brought up with apes, and he was brought up by humans, but obviously he's not human, and so he had this strange connection to both, an outsider to both communities, but he also was very connected to both communities, so he was able to see. And in this story, the extremes of the war push him to a place where he, for the first time, is losing his ability to empathize. And that is really, I think, one of the keys in a war story is this intimate relationship that you have to your empathy and whether or not you can see your adversaries as lives that matter, as being connected to we're all in the same world together. And so in that way, by going internally, we're able to explore the emotions of war. So it's really both.
I cannot take her, Maurice.
And you introduced a new character, the Bad Ape.
Yes.
I think he bears a striking resemblance to Jar Jar Binks from the Star Wars prequels.
Oh, really?
You know,
okay.
When he talks funny, he's kind of clumsy.
I'm okay.
Well, I mean, you know, for me, I think that he is. I find him to be what I don't see him that way, because to me he is a very grounded character. He's actually a tragic, heartbreaking character to me. When I cast Steve, I cast him because of the way he played the drama. I mean, there's a scene that the two of them play. Jar Jar Binks never made me cry, and Bad Ape sure does. There's a scene between him and Caesar where they're talking about their children, which is, again, part of this war story, and I find it incredibly emotional. But he does bring humor from an authentic place, which I think is different from Jar Jar. No, not to knock Jar Jar, but in this story, he is an ape who has been living as a hermit by himself for 15 years. And so he's so desperate to have company. And he's so excited that there's someone he can connect to, other apes like him. It's like a huge discovery that there's the beginning of a family. So if you can imagine that loneliness and the enthusiasm to suddenly have others who are around you, even though they want you to go to a place that is terrifying.
I mean, Jar Jar was also an outcast, and he found a new family with the Jedi.
I guess, yeah, but
I don't want to talk too much about Jar Jar.
No,
but
okay.
He was important for CG characters. He was like the first fully fleshed out CG character, and there was a main character in a movie back then.
Interesting.
And
I was thinking more emotionally. I guess tonally and emotionally, I see a difference. But I guess I get what you're saying.
Oh no! Oh no!
now the CG and motion capture technique has evolved since Jar Jar. It has evolved a
for
lot.
sure. Yeah.
And you have in your movie an actor that is the master of this type of
Absolutely.
acting.
Yeah.
How much of a co-director is he on set?
Well, he's not. He's an actor. I mean, this is the confusion about what performance capture is. It's a series of cameras that record performance. And what Andy is doing is performing. He's not a master of mocap. He's a master actor. So it's like, you know, Woody Harrelson is an incredible actor. And what I am doing when I'm working with Andy is getting a performance like when I'm getting a performance from Woody. And it's no different. It's like I'm shooting an independent drama. It's just later we spend, you know, tens of millions of dollars turning him into a CG character. So he does what the other actors do, but he does it brilliantly, and he's a very emotional actor. So the hard part is that after he gives that performance, I then edit the footage together with my editors, and then we turn the shots over to Weta, and it takes over a year to get the emotions I'm seeing on Andy's face to appear on Caesar's face, because Andy's anatomy is different than Caesar's. And so I get into these long conversations with the editors, the artists at Weta, to say, you know, I'm seeing, let's say, anger in Andy's face, but also there's some sadness. How can we see that in Caesar? Because right now I just see the anger. And then we start trying to figure out what shapes in the face indicate that emotion. You know, because I can tell how you're feeling based on the expression on your face. But if I had to turn you into an ape, we'd have to figure out, well, what aspect of this anatomy can I express on a different anatomy that still gives you the same feeling? So it's an intensive process, but there's a lot of confusion that Andy has some technical skill. The technical skill he has is the way an actor who's playing someone who, let's say, was injured in an accident, he has to learn how to limp. Well, he has to learn the conditions of being in the body of an ape, but then he has to forget that, because the thing that matters is the emotion, and he's giving an incredible performance. He's one of the best actors I've ever worked with. That's really what he does in this film.
All right. Thank you very much.
Cool.
And please don't make Batman too angry, all right?
I'll try.